We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Cain laid his hand on Nosferatu and told him that he would forever wear his evil, and twisted his visage. He cursed us all. Hello, and welcome to Valley by Night. Dire Bear's Tuesday Night Vampire 5th Edition Chronicle. I'm your storyteller, Jason, and with me as usual will be Sarah playing Jolene, Rap playing Maeve, Duba playing Alexander, Decca playing Blackjack, and we're one shy, but hopefully our missing member will be showing up later. You know how life gets in the way.
Life finds a way and then gets in the way.
It finds a way to get in the way.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Every time.
So, some stuff happened last week. Oh, before we get into
Yeah?
that, though, this is, of course, the last session in November. And for any of y'all watching at home, I've already mentioned this to the players, we have, at most, 4 more sessions of this Chronicle. Might only be 3, depends on how quick the guys move through it.
We speed run it.
I'm assuming 4. I'm assuming it's going to be 4. And I kind of assume the last one will run long. And just from previous experience.
Us get on tangents. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, well, I may try to crack the whip a little more. Keep y'all on track. Specifically the tracks that I have laid down. But anyway, something to keep in mind. Now, to review, last week, some stuff went down. Who'd like to give a synopsis?
Fight. Prince found out that Grandmother Dorcas kind of had made these vampires that we fought. They were like 5 days old, and he knew nothing about it. So
We're
he's
fighting
pissed.
babies.
Basically, Maeve just tore through.
And Jolene was breaking bones and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, she was flying.
Yeah.
Blackjack had a good boxing match.
Yes, he did. I think it was Jolene that made a woman cry, though.
That's fair.
I mean, never mind.
I mean, a thin blood against like a 5-day-old vampire. It's kind of balanced in the eyes of the Camarilla.
No, I was about to be just
A 5-year-old vampire versus thin blood versus a 5-day Nos. It's messed up.
Nah, I was going to be more of an a-hole and say, but has Jolene made many women cry over the nights?
Yeah.
There's my little,
A little
joke.
Dolly Parton reference
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Clearly, that's somebody I should have brought in as a thin blood hunter.
Oh god.
She's clearly part of the Second Inquisition.
No.
I don't know, she's been around a while, maybe the First Inquisition. But,
Rolls up with the cross.
Dolly Parton is a treasure. You take that back.
where's I going? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, big fight at the quarry.
Need to stay on track, guys.
Yeah. This is clearly going to work out well. But, so, yeah, fight at the quarry. Y'all plowed through a bunch of fresh Nosses. I think only one of them actually met final death. The particularly crazy guy with the chainsaw.
Yeah. He did turn into a pile of ash.
Yeah,
I think everyone else either ran or got staked.
Because I'm not sure that Samuel actually burned anybody else.
Not for
No,
not
I think-
trying.
Or if he did, it wasn't to a lethal degree.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
to a
mean,
lethal degree.
He mainly did a lot of burning to scare, but he
Mhm.
didn't.
And he took out the chainsaw. You know, he did cause it to its gas tank to combust. But
Kaboom! I mean, what?
so the prince's forces took away quite a few prisoners. Only the woman that you had discovered was a community theater actress. She was the only one still conscious and capable of talking when everything was said and done. That's where you find out that she's only 5 days old, and that the rest of them you're fighting weren't much older than that. You know, there were a few of them that she thinks had been around for a week or two. You know, when she got brought in, she clearly had no concept of the Camarilla. Knew nothing of the traditions. From her standpoint, she'd just been kidnapped by monsters and turned into a monster, and was doing what they said so they wouldn't hurt her.
Like, from a player's perspective, I know that the prince ain't gonna have none of this shit, and he might end up getting rid of all the Nosses. From the character standpoint, Alexander's sitting here thinking, like, but they're poor innocent people that got roped into this unwillingly by Grandmother Dorcas because she just wanted to whip an army fast.
Yeah.
Well,
if anything, see if you can make them swear loyalty to you in some shape or form before you just up and kill them.
Well, there's going to be a meeting at the Ledges Elysium that next night.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we ended last session with y'all waking up that night.
Yeah, finding out Blackjack's house and Alexander's house were on fire. Alexander lost everything, but Blackjack was able to keep a lot of his stuff.
I want to say his barn was burned pretty well completely.
But the ghoul got the cows out.
Yes, before getting jumped and beaten up. So barns burned down, house was set on fire, but the fire department showed up and saved it. Ghoul, what was his name again?
Gargano.
He is alive, which is really all you know. Is he's alive? You know, he's stable and all that.
I know what hospital he's at and all that.
Right, he's in Crestwood Medical Center, which is where Samuel works.
Mm-hmm.
Blackjack had stayed the night at the smaller apartment complex that y'all put the Thin Bloods in.
You had to coax him.
I think he was in Bree's closet. Or in Bree's hall closet. So, you know, it's towels and washcloths on all the shelves, and then Blackjack. And the vacuum cleaners.
I don't remember bringing a leather jacket.
You know, then it's probably smoking. Then it's probably smoke and water damage in your house. So anyway, y'all are woken that night. I think we had made all the hunger checks and all that jazz.
20 texts of your house is on fire. I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, you had gotten the message from the Thin Bloods that worked for you. And Jolene would probably have gotten a text from the Thin Bloods as well, since they wouldn't have known that you weren't at home. But oh, and Alexander, you were staying with Samuel?
Samuel.
Okay.
Yeah, I stay with Samuel. Mainly because of, you know, my armory and all my hardware and whatnot probably would have fit better in his more spacious area. Well,
y'all could just go to Casa del Thin Blood and fill all their hall closets up with stuff.
He has a big enough bullseye on his back to begin with. The last thing he would want to do is even put any more pressure on the Thin Bloods.
Thin Bloods were used to bullseyes on our back. What are you talking about?
Alexander's way too nice a guy to be a vampire.
Blackjack literally almost got killed by the Camarilla. What do you mean?
All right, so y'all are up. Y'all have this news. We'll go with Blackjack first. What are you doing?
Kind of like looks at it on his phone and like. I think he would instinctively just crush his phone, just out of pure like
Rage.
sorrow. Before he even knows the cows are okay, he just sees house on fire.
Jolene's, do you need a ride? Text goes unread.
Huh? Just like, just shatters in his hand, and I mean, Jolene knows where I am.
Yeah, she.
One of the thin bloods that's staying in the same one as Bree. Basically, just watches you. Is everything all right, Mr. Jack?
I don't know. I honestly probably shouldn't have done that, but my house that's been with my family for generations upon generations is caught fire.
Oh no! Is it on fire now, or did the?
I kind of squished before I can
Oh,
tell further. It was a reflex thing, you see.
Oh, you need to borrow a car?
Can't tell if that's a joke or not.
So I figured you'd want to ride out there.
Yeah. I understand. Sure. Let's go.
Yeah, she grabs her keys. It's like she was just going to loan you the car at first, but you seem a little out of it, so maybe she should drive.
As Jolene drives up.
Jolene's like, well, it's probably like calling the other thin bloods that work for him, or checking up on his ghoul. I'll just wait for a text back.
All right, so
2 hours later.
this thin blood,
Someone will call me, I'm sure.
Bree's roommate, Annette, or I've already used an Annette in this.
I mean, people have, the same name.
That's true.
Maybe there's two Annettes.
No, you used Jeanette is what you used.
That's right.
Yeah, Jeanette.
She's probably my favorite NPC that I haven't used much. So anyway, this woman's name is Annette. Blackjack, you've seen her before. You didn't really know her name until Bree brought you in and introduced you.
Mm-hmm.
She drives you over to the farm. You have to give her directions, of course. When you pull up, house is still standing, of course. One side is kind of badly burned on the outside. Two of both the thin bloods that work for you are still there. One of them comes walking up to the car. You see the other one, out in the pasture. You see the cows are out in the pasture. As you get out of her car, you see that the tires in your truck have been slashed.
That's just rude.
Only 3 of them, though, for some reason.
I understood that reference.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, one of the thin bloods are like, "Hey, boss, glad to see you weren't home.
Yeah, me too.
Police are going to want to talk to you, though. We told them you were out of town, and that we would get in contact with you.
Are they? I assume no one's here right now.
No, they've already cleared out. I mean, we're not allowed to go in the house. We're it's considered a crime scene. They're assuming it's arson. I mean, it was pretty obviously arson.
I was to say they're not wrong. Is there an officer in there right now?
No, not right now. They taped the place off. The fire department's had their guy out.
Okay. Cows are fine.
Yeah, a little shook up. They've been a little twitchy. I'm not sure if crap. What's your ghoul's name again?
Gargano.
Gorgano. How do I forget a name like that? It looks like Gorgano got him out, and then got jumped. Out in the pasture. We've contacted the hospital. One of the nurses kind of let me know that he was stable and all, but couldn't give me any more specific information than that because I'm not family or whatever.
Do you know where they took him?
Oh yeah, Crestwood, just over the hill there.
That's... All right, I appreciate it. I'm gonna look at this place where I grew up.
Okay. Well, boss. Remember, you can always rebuild stuff.
You know what? You're right. I appreciate that. Take good care of the cows.
As you're walking out, he goes, and the potatoes.
Bethany's a kicker.
Yeah, I know. While you're talking, your neighbor is walking over. You see him crossing his pasture where, his pasture and yours, have a fence in common.
I'll go meet him.
He kind of waves, climbs over the fence. Blackjack, shakes hand.
Nasio.
You must not have been home when all that started.
No, I've been out for a while. Did you see anything?
We just noticed the fire and called the department, of course.
I appreciate it.
Earlier than that, I'd seen one of your guys, go out to the barn, but of course we watched. The ambulance showed up. I saw where they picked him up. I hope he's all right.
I've been told he's holding steady.
We didn't see anybody else moving around or.
It happens sometime. Maybe some punks that just did it and ran off.
Maybe so. I wonder if it might have been some druggies thinking there wasn't anybody around, and your guy disturbed them, and things just happened. Though it's weird that the house and the barn caught on fire.
I remember having a run-in with some people like that a while back, but I thought I gave them what for. I suppose I didn't do a good enough job.
Should probably let the police handle that sort of thing.
Well, I'm a big guy that just kind of like ran off last time.
Well, have you got a place to stay? Because I'm sure you're going to have some work done on the house before you can move back in.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. I'm staying with some friends, and when the apartment's house off. Staying with some friends on the other side of town.
Oh, okay.
But I think I'll be all right. You know about Apple?
The computer company?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, wife's got one of their iPads.
Ah, thanks. They're just like, damn, he grieves weird.
Yeah, he just kind of looks at you like, okay.
Um, uh, no, I think I'll be alright. I just need to rebuild, I suppose. One of the people I had said, can always rebuild, and they're right. I'm gonna be down about it. I grew up here.
Oh yeah, yeah, I understand. I've only had the farm here the last, you know, 10 years or so. That's, it'd still mess me up if I lost it. I mean, I'm insured and stuff, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. But
Right. Also insured. So it should be alright.
all right, well, if me and the missus can do anything for you, you just let me know. You've always been a good neighbor.
I keep that in mind. You've always been you've always been a bit of an inspiration, if whether or not you know it.
Okay, I've never thought of myself as inspirational, but all right.
Consider yourself inspired, an inspiration, and then you inspire me. Sometimes I just look over the fence and be like, "There's that Ignacio working hard."
And that inspired he laughs. And that inspired you to go hire some help.
Well, I'm getting on in my age. I got to be able to keep up with you.
So anyway, you sit there chewing the fat with your neighbor, who is, I believe, one of your touchstones.
Yes.
So, once y'all finish chewing the fat, you feel a little better,
Yeah.
You still turn around and see your burned house again, but yeah.
Start calling. I was gonna say start calling people to do that, but he'll find a burner phone at some point.
Annette can run you by a Target or anywhere you.
That's probably what I'll do. Is just go to a Target, grab a burner phone, and be like Jolene, and just text Jolene.
And Blackjack strikes me as somebody old-fashioned enough that he probably still memorizes phone numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Truthfully, that's probably something all of y'all should do, just because of how much y'all have to ditch burner phones.
It's just a Camarilla thing, I think. It's not like being the Baron of somewhere and being on social media all the time. That'd be nice.
I think a lot of places the Camarilla has just flat out banned the use of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Huntsville being such a tech-oriented city, the vamps here are a little more tech-savvy than they would be other places, even the older ones.
They have to use it in many cases.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many tech companies around that you got to be able to keep up with that a little bit.
So maybe 45 minutes to an hour after Jolene might have sent a text, or maybe 2.5 hours. Who knows?
How long of a drive? How long?
Well, 20 minutes or so driving there, and you hung around talking to your neighbor for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had to drive to the Target's right across the street, basically. But then you had to go drive and pick out the phone, and get the SIM card, switch it over.
Gotta make sure it's a good phone.
Yeah, you go into your burnt house, you dig out your old Nokia brick, and you start using that.
Works fine.
Definitely. He still has that. I wonder if the Anarch brick is still there. Oh well.
I bet Nokia phone does aggravated damage. You beat somebody with it.
It's a handheld weapon.
It's a handheld weapon with lead. So eventually, Jolene gets a text that I'm at the farm. It's rebuildable, I guess.
All right. So while that hour is taking place, Alexander,
Yes, sir.
you wake up at Samuel's.
Uh-huh.
By the time you get roused up, he is already down in his lab doing Samuel stuff.
He is unfazed by it. He's just like, alright.
His ghoul manservant is there. As soon as he sees you, Master Alexander, is there anything I can do? Anything that you need?
No, I'll be fine. No.
We do have all your weapons packed up in, in the back room's closet. He shows you which one it is.
Thank you. Let's see. He like kind of has like a little notepad, and he's just kind of thumbing through, just kind of doing a mental note of things. And has he already heard the news by this time, or?
Yes, I think your ghouls would have texted you about it.
Yeah, he would have looked at a same.
Possibly because they showed up for work that morning and the house was burned down.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if you thought to notify them.
No, because he didn't think about it. He didn't say anything. Which he probably one of the first things he did was send them a text saying it's all right, I'm okay, the work is saved. So for now, y'all don't have to worry about coming into work for a little bit until things are fixed. But I'll keep in touch. So, but he looks at Samuel's ghoul and says, "Right. Well, besides dealing with the fact of knowing that my dear beloved little somewhat of a crypt was destroyed, it's a good thing I didn't opt to try and stay there. I think that would be the right decision. But nevertheless." Right. Is there any place set up where I can possibly do a little surveillance of our lovely domain?
I don't really know what do you need for that, Master Alexander?
Nothing fancy, just a simple computer and probably a big, rather large monitor. They don't have to be super large.
I believe the doctor has a computer in his study, his upstairs study. And the downstairs study is what they refer to as laboratory as. Up under the house.
Well, he knows not to mess with that one, so...
So yeah, he takes you to the study. The computer's 3 or 4 years old. It's nothing super fancy. It's something you'd use for office work and research, that sort of thing.
He just kind of glanced it over. Ah, yes, this should do nicely.
But but it's got internet access, which is really all you need to access some of your stuff.
Oh yeah, nah, he'll smile and be like, "Thank you, I'll get to work." Sits down, cracks his fingers, just starts logging in and checking on stuff. Sees how everything's going besides 100% chaos. See if there's anything he can find on news feeds. Probably not, but
you find as you're checking around, you start getting hits on the traffic cameras. Several of the Tremere Chantry members' cars are leaving town in various directions, which has been the usual, of late.
Oh yeah.
Alejandro has clearly realized he was being watched to some degree, so one of them heads out like it's going towards Madison, which is the city is just slightly to the west of Huntsville. One heads out kind of northeast, which would, if they went far enough, would take them through Hollywood, Alabama, and up through Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's in Tennessee. Anyway, it's the route you take going to like Chattanooga. Would be one of the bigger cities. One heads out south towards Arab, that's the route that the road runs right by y'all's domain, and it's out where Maeve and Jolene met with the Salubri Anarch that one time. The Valley Cove coterie has also gone out that way before. You also spot the Brat Pack's car driving around in your domain.
Okay.
Now, right now, they're, when you spot them, they're on the main road, which is, pretty well how they'd have to drive in to get anywhere in town. Because they're really kind of off to the side. Cutting through your domain is just the quickest way to anywhere else in Huntsville.
There.
So there's nothing super suspicious about that. Let's see. As far as news reports, still a lot of gang violence going on down in Decatur. There's a fire down there that is suspected arson. That people in the neighborhood said there was some sort of fighting going on before a storefront got set on fire. And other than that, things it seems to have been a fairly quiet news day. You do find reports of a couple of fires in the city, but
They don't really surprise me.
well, no, one of them was your house, and one of them was Blackjack's. There's one other, but when you're looking at that, there doesn't seem to be anything weird about that one. It's just, you have fires in a big city. Let's see. Anything else specific that you don't want to look for?
Well, I doubt I'm going to be able to see any NOS activity or any kind of like fuzziness on camera. So he's just going to stick to his basic routine, checking what he generally keeps up with anyway.
Okay.
Alejandro and his cronies.
You can tell from the time of the fires. The one at Blackjack was probably set off just before sunrise. Mm-hmm. Where your house would have been set on fire during the day. The sun would have been up when yours went up.
He would kind of make a quick note of that, kind of seeing the times and all that, because even he would be like, so they had to have someone who could actually get out there to do it. Probably a ghoul or maybe a thin blood that don't like us too much.
And from speaking with some of the Nosferatu, some of them had ghouls, but you never really met their ghouls, or because you never really got deep into, the clan politics of the city yet.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, you really only showed it when Grandmother Dorcas said, hey, you should come visit.
Pretty much, yeah. He didn't really see a big point in heading out that way too much.
Maeve.
Yes.
You wake up. Now, y'all that were getting these texts, did y'all let everybody in on what was going on?
Honestly, Jolene probably wouldn't have, just because she wouldn't know if he would want everyone telling folks.
Alright. In that case, Maeve, you get up and it's an average day. What is Maeve gonna get herself into?
She's gonna go and walk Vincent. And try to keep out an eye on things.
Okay. Nothing unusual. As you're walking in, neighbors coming home from work, the usual people that see you, wave or whatever. They've learned not to approach because your dog doesn't like other people.
That'd be about it. She'll just wait because they're supposed to have the Elysium today, right?
Yes. At 12-ish, I think.
Mhm.
And it's supposed to be a pretty big one. It's supposed to be pretty much everybody in town is going to be there.
Hmm. She's probably gonna chill around the house after
Okay.
walking Vincent and just waiting until Elysium.
All right, Jolene.
She will probably shoot back a text of, "Do you need any clothes, or did you were able to grab stuff from the house?" And probably also just go hunting. Phone on silent while hunting.
I would have taken an overnight bag over the Thin Bloods.
Yeah, and you already knew about the Elysium, so you probably took your good clothes with you too.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing it.
Yeah, they're a little wrinkly, but whatever.
It's fine.
Throw them in the dryer for 10 minutes, they'll be fine.
And she will go hunting.
All right. Hunting wild animals, domesticated animals.
Yeah, she's going hunting wild animals.
All right. Will she get her a deer? Will she get her a raccoon?
The world may never know.
All right, that's 4 successes. So she gets her whatever she wants.
She going for a deer because she's at 3.
All right. Well, a deer will knock off 2. Probably leaves it dead.
She's becoming a little bit more okay with that. Also, she's probably had some close run-ins driving around Oogie, so
Really, she's just thinning the
those
herd.
deer. She's gonna run into my car. Gonna try and aim for my car. Yeah, I'm coming
It's
after
just
you.
population control.
Just makes eye contact with the deer when it runs on the road.
She does that to scare it off, but really it just freezes it in place and she hits it.
Memorizes its face and then goes and hunts it.
All right, does anybody else need to hunt?
She'll get
All right. So what were you saying there, sir?
And she would just get ready for and just kind of hang out and wait.
I'm only at 2 hunger. I'm good.
All right, the time for the Elysium rolls around. All of you, as you make your way up there. Like I said, it's pretty much everybody. You get a message, Jolene, or a messenger. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think how they would actually get a message to you, because nobody knows where you're staying currently.
I mean, people have her number.
Oh, that's right. So you get a message requesting that you be sure to bring the Thin Bloods with you.
How close to Elysium does she get this message?
Just shortly after you wake up, or not, well, you probably already wake. Shortly after you have contact with Blackjack. It's early in the evening.
Okay. So she probably after she hunts, it just pops up, or would it have been before?
You probably received it on your way to the hunt.
Okay. So after hunting, she's booking it over to Casa del Thinblood with a text to everyone meet at this apartment, or else.
Or else?
Well, to the Thin Bloods.
When you get there, all the Thin Bloods are there except Annette. you get a text back from her telling you that she's driving Blackjack around.
So she will turn the phone around so that everyone can see what she was text.
All right. So all these faces looked worried when you walked in the door. Meeting this apartment or else. It's not a very Jolene thing to say. Unless you piss her off.
Well, she gets a message to bring all the Thin Bloods.
Well, the actual message says be
Yeah.
sure to bring your friends to the club tonight.
Yeah. She would translate that for everyone.
At some point, Blackjack kicks in the door like, what happened? What happened? What's the emergency?
Turns phone.
All
And
the
that
Thin Bloods start
just does-
talking amongst themselves because they've never been ordered to an Elysium
I don't
before.
think it was sent to everyone else. It was sent to me. And my friends, aside from y'all, of course, and she kind of does the motion of the Thin Bloods.
Oh, howdy. Sorry, I tunnel visioned.
So anyway, Jolene starts getting just questions thrown at her. What should we wear? Why do they want us there? What are they going to do to us?
Wear something nice. I don't know, and I don't know.
Well, something like this.
If you were actually talking, you were muted.
No, she was just like, if he was doing that, she was probably like just behind, like, no, don't wear something like that. Don't just.
Which
wear
no one
something-
can see because Jolene's like this.
pokes around from like.
Man, in my Zoom, you are really out of sync.
It's fine for me.
Yeah, maybe it's
Yeah,
just on my side then.
Every now and again, Jolene will get out of sync when she's talking.
Nice. I'm a dubbed version of myself.
It'd be really funny if we were playing Feng Shui or something.
Oh God.
Be awesome. Should we like just wear whatever you have? That's nice. I mean, like if you were going to a Sunday dinner or something. Whatever you have that is nice and that can be worn quickly. I don't think we got time for dry cleaning or intense ironing or curling your hair.
So the Thin Bloods break up. Half of them go back to the apartments to get ready. The other half pile in the cars and head to Target.
I feel that.
Because, some of them, like Bree, managed to live kind of a quasi-normal life for a while. So when she moved to Huntsville, she moved like a normal person. She had her stuff, boxed up all the clothes. Some of the ones that settled here in Huntsville were kind of on the run before they got here. So some of them don't have a wide variety of outfits.
Jolene, like, if y'all need any help getting anything, let me know. Make sure it's taken care of. And if y'all need rides up, we'll just kind of all go. I don't want to say as a force, but we'll go as a group.
So Bree kind of organizes the ones going to Target. She knows what she can wear. And when you sent that text out, she shut the shop down a little early and came over.
Yeah.
But I was trying to see what day it was. Was it Saturday, Sunday? I believe it's Sunday the 30th. Oh wait, Saturday, July 20th. Why do I have 20th and then Sunday 30th?
I don't know.
Probably the 20th.
It was our 30th episode.
Maybe that's it. That's totally not it. I just wrote the date down wrong. For some reason, I jumped from Saturday the 20th to Sunday the 30th.
was a weird week. There were 3 more days.
Leap week. So anyway, they roll off. Most of them have got at least part-time jobs here lately, so plenty of money, they got plenty of cash to go buy a nice button-up shirt and some slacks. A couple of them maybe going to buy
stressed.
Ties or something. A couple of them were debating whether or not they needed to get ties on their way out.
You don't need, just don't get a tie. Just something nice. I mean, if you really want a tie, if it'll make you feel better, get a tie.
Do any of you know how to tie a tie?
I know how to tie a tie.
One of the younger ones is like, I was just going to get a clip-on.
That's smart. That's smart. I like you.
No, don't get a clip-on. Just get a regular tie. I'll tie it for you. It's really easy.
So, they go and get the cards. You're one of them. No, see, they got these ones now that you loop over your head and then you just zip them up like you need. Oh, I've got one. They look really nice.
I think they're gonna
Bree
die.
mouths at you as they're all getting the cards. I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
I just whispered to Julian, I think they're gonna die.
That's not really reassuring right now, Blackjack. Because I'm also one of them. I would prefer not to die.
I don't think you're gonna die. You're in a coterie.
Yeah, but I also went and used all my damn potions in front of the prince, and kind of put a target on the back of my head. And now
not all
everything
you like
blood is
that.
being called into Elysium.
Well, yeah, they're calling every kindred into Elysium, except for the Nos, I imagine.
Why? Why now?
We just went to war with the Nosferatu.
They haven't really thought we could do much before. They didn't call all the Thin Bloods in there when the Thin Bloods were being hunted.
Of course not. They didn't like y'all back then.
They still don't like us.
Yeah, but now you have a use.
Yeah, targets.
Yeah. It is a slap promotion.
All right. So as the around 11:30, all the Thin Bloods are reassembled. Bree has done a pretty good job of organizing. They all look presentable. One guy's wearing a tie.
It's not a clip-on.
No, this guy knew how to time, so he just got a regular tie. Anybody that didn't know how to time, it seemed like she more or less talked them out of trying the ties.
She'll pretty much give a talk like, alright, just act like you're at your grandmother's house when we're at Elysium. Don't cuss nobody. Don't get in a fight. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. No, sir. I ain't trying to say, you guys know we got targets on our back. I ain't trying to say we're going to court, but
Willard's sitting there with his iced tea, but act like we're going to court.
act like we're going to court. Don't be sassing nobody.
Willard is actually in a suit. Now, it looks like a suit that he probably bought, I don't know, back in the 80s or something, but it's older style, but still very presentable. And it's kind of full.
Thought that counts.
He's not going to impress anybody, but it's presentable.
Yeah. I will be right back. My phone's going off.
Alright, so I assume Blackjack and Jolene and the Thin Bloods will pile into, I was going to say Bree's car. I guess technically it's Blackjack's car. And one or two other, Annette's car. They have enough vehicles to get everybody up there. Alexander, with you staying with Samuel, you're already up in the ledges. You can...
I could probably just walk over there to it if I want.
You absolutely could, but then I thought, well, then I just pictured this Nosferatu walking through this upscale neighborhood. But, you obfuscate, so it wouldn't really be a problem. And more than likely, you and Samuel load up in his car anyway.
Oh yeah, he's already probably done rent with Samuel.
Maeve, you got your own car. You wouldn't have trouble getting there.
Mm-hmm.
The guard at the gatehouse seems to be ready for everybody. When you pull up, he just the guard leans forward, gives a look at everybody in the car, and lets you in. This is one of the guys you see in the gatehouse pretty regular, so you're fairly certain that he knows about everybody, at least on sight. The thin blood cars get a little bit harder look, but but he nods to Jolene, he nods to Blackjack. And y'all all show up together, so even the car that's all thin bloods that have never been to Elysium, he still just kind of waves y'all all through at once. They've at least got the they seem to be dressed right and have the proper nervous look on their face, so he figures that's who they were. You get up there, as usual, there's a couple of ghouls at the front door. They're opening their door, letting everybody in. All of you, they greet by name, as is their custom. They are professionally polite to the Thin Bloods. They don't try to call anyone by name or ask what their names are or anything like that. But they let them in and kind of tell them where inside they should be. They let them know that, there are no kind outside of ghouls. There are no kind in the facility, so, they let them know this is a kindred affair. As you go in, it looks pretty much like everybody's here. Pretty much, other than any Nosferatu, pretty much everybody seems to be here. If they're not here, they show up not too long after you. Maeve, Colin's already here. You see your buddy Jack Brooks, he's here. Hark, the fellow you saved from the Lupines that time. He sees you and kind of waves. And he's a caitiff, he's a clanless, so he's not usually at these sorts of things.
Is that Shamisi caitiff here?
Beg pardon?
Lee?
Is that Shamisi caitiff? Yeah, Lee.
Yes, actually, he would be.
Interesting.
You have not seen much of him
At all.
No. At
We don't
first,
really-
it's like he was kind of quasi hanging with the Thin Bloods, but Eddie hooked him up with a caitiff, a full-fledged caitiff to show him around.
Mm-hmm.
So where the Thin Bloods were getting kidnapped and moved into the domain, the run-of-the-mill caitiff didn't. They weren't under any particular threat. So as far as you know, Lee and his mentor are still up in North Huntsville. But
Interesting.
But Lee kind of gives y'all kind of a like he recognizes you, but he's still not really sure what kind of terms he's on with you.
Rolling up with all the Thin Bloods, just kind of nods and smiles.
She just walks with her squad behind her in a V formation.
And we keep
Her queen.
it
George.
that way, and I just look at him and nod.
Actually, all of her squad are in a bunch right behind her.
Terrified. Like chickens, like baby chicks under a mama chick's wing.
Checks out.
Let's see, Blackjack. You also see old Bobby Bedlam. who is looking at Jolene and her squad with absolute horror and disgust on his face.
All right, buddy. All right, buddy. We're just gonna turn you around. No, pay no mind to them. They ain't done nothing to you.
They're harbingers of the end, though.
No, they're not.
The end is nigh.
If the end comes, I guarantee you, it's not those 12 people that don't even know how to tie a tie.
12 people can turn the world upside down. Ask the Romans.
He's got a punch.
Okay, fair enough. Bad example.
But, he's not the only one that looks truly disgusted, though. Jeanette, her little clique, when they see Jolene walk in, you see them whispering to each other. You're pretty sure you hear one of them referred to you as Queen of the Thin Bloods.
Should have made her a crown for this moment.
They stopped at Burger King. She got no. I mean, she also probably would have told the Thin Bloods before, like, hey, you're gonna hear people calling you anything short of dog shit, so just kind of ignore it.
They'll also
Well,
call you dog shit, probably.
All the Thin Bloods know Jeanette.
Oh, okay.
She tattooed every single
Oh
one of
yeah, they all been tattooed.
them. You know, there might be one or two exceptions that got tattooed in some other city. But by and large, yeah, all these people got tattooed by Jeanette.
Yep.
Let's see. You also see Samuel's mentor here, Henry Morgan. You see the sheriff and several of the sheriff's deputies. You don't see all the deputies here.
Is the Scourge back?
You do not see Travis.
Right for the best.
Or he's just gonna spring out of the shadows and murder all the Thin Bloods in one go.
Anything is possible. He's waiting behind the curtain with this, Dragonfire minigun. Oh yeah.
He's gonna terrify everyone, though, not just the Thin Bloods.
That's fair. Also, not something he'd necessarily care about.
This is also fair. Like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
And people are coming around with drinks, or coming around, offering to take drink orders. Most of the Thin Bloods, yeah, we're good. You hear Willard ask if they have sweet tea, and they just look at him.
God
I
bless
mean,
Willard.
It is the South, so the boy is not wrong.
But
They can put blood in sweet tea. It's fine.
there's a little more to
Like 90%
making
of the
making.
Huntsville vampires.
There's a little more to making the blood-based drinks than that, but though oddly enough, it's not too much later that you see he's got one. So, I guess they keep something around for the
on him.
ghouls that work the place.
Ensorcel the tea. It's fine.
I mean, could you make it by maybe, like, infusing tea into blood?
Probably.
This is what Jolene's going to go to college for, like hematology and possible blood-based cuisines.
I can't remember where I read it, but I want to say in canon that's actually one of the things Thin Bloods will do sometimes with their alchemy is come up with that kind of flavored drinks and wines and stuff that Kendrick can actually consume.
And Blood Brewery.
Well, Huntsville's got a fair variety of microbreweries and stuff around, so
There we go. We'll get Willard on that after the meeting.
So a little bit of time passes. Everyone is pretty well snubbing the Thin Bloods.
Yeah, Julian's used to this.
A few people come by and speak to you. Russell is there. I'm blanking on the Libon's name.
Did you give him a name?
I am quite certain that I gave the Libon a name.
Need access to the Rolodex, please.
I was gonna say, where's Eric
Jabarl.
when we need him?
Jabarl was his name.
Yeah.
And they're both very curious about what's going on. Russell is very... I mean, he's talking to the Thin Bloods like he's talking to people. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's heard about this bloodline. He's not really sure. That's fine. Oh, hey, Davy Jones. Well, Davy Jones show. Pop it up in the chat. But, no, the Libon is also, perfectly polite. He looks at them like you would imagine a scientist in a lab looking at something interesting. Not in the mad scientist dissect you sort of way, just, this is a curiosity. This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, and like the caitiff, truthfully, a few caitiffs you don't know come over and say something to one of the other Thin Bloods that they happen to know. All the outcasts get along a little better than other folk. Shortly thereafter, though, you don't have a lot of time to rub elbows before the Seneschal. So I want to call him a Stewart, and I knew that wasn't right. But anyway, Seneschal Tucker quickly gets up on the little raised stage area. Thanks everyone for coming. It is dark tidings that bring us together tonight. The Prince will give you the full details, though he's sure that rumors have run amok by now. Most everyone probably has some idea of why they're here. But he asked everyone to please stand, though most of you were already standing around anyway. But there were a few seated at tables. And then he introduces the Prince and the Primogen. Prince Deschler comes through first, with Nora Deschler on his arm. They're followed in by the rest of the Primogen, with the notable exception, of course, of Grandmother Dorcas. Abla's father, Arif, also comes in with the Primogen.
How irritated does Alejandro look about that?
Not as bad today as like the first time y'all saw it.
He's used to it.
Yeah.
Also with them is a rather tall male Nosferatu. The Primogen all take their seats. Arif, already had a seat on stage. Much like the last time, it's a little to one side. He comes in with the Primogen, but he sits slightly separate from them, kind of showing that he's not actually a Primogen member.
Right.
On kind of the opposite side, but at same kind of distance, the Nosferatu sits.
Does he look old?
That's about like asking if Freddy Krueger looks old. You can't tell. He's all muckered up. All this right here is messed up.
Yeah, but you know Grandmother Dorcas looks old because she has a presence about her.
Does they feel old?
He seems to have that same sort of air of... that same kind of gravitas to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, you can't really tell, is he an elder or is he, you know...
Sure.
Is he of age with the prince?
But, like, your average Tremere next to Samuel, you know Samuel's older.
But yeah, just the way he carries himself, you would guess he's probably...
like age.
Yeah, maybe not quite as old. Yeah, he definitely ain't no youngling.
Right. It looks like he's done this a few times.
Yeah, he seems to be perfectly at ease up there in front of everybody.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm looking at.
Of course, so does Arif.
Oh.
He's not
Maybe
also in,
he's
like,
the
a authority
You
position.
know, and you know he's not, you know, really any older than Samuel.
maybe he's one of the primogens from Decatur.
Oh God, we have entered
Could
the
be.
darkest timeline.
The Primogen all sit, with the exception of the prince, who, you know, sees his wife to her seat, and then he steps forward to speak. He lets the Chantry know, or Chantry, the Elysium know of the attack the previous night. How the Jones Valley Coterie brought Grandmother Dorcas's treason to light. He saw with his own eyes that she was involved. He talks about the capture of the unauthorized neonates. You know, outlines, goes into the traditions that she has violated. A few people in the crowd ask if he knows for certain that she embraced them in the city, but ultimately that doesn't seem to matter because even if she embraced them outside the city, she brought them into the city without his permission. And she was attempting to bring final death upon him, you know, someone under his protection. He stopped short of actually putting her under a blood hunt, though. You know, her and her clan are not to be aided. Any of them seen or be brought to him, or at least, you know, if that's not possible, notify him.
Is Alexander here?
Oh no, he's there.
Yes, he's there. Well, you know, he started off by talking about the Jones Valley Coterie, brought this to his attention and stuff, and everybody knows Alexander is the Jones Valley Coterie.
Yeah, I'm just making sure we know.
You know,
Oh,
There is a Nos.
Alexander
I
gets
don't
some
know.
looks, but everybody's kind of like, well, he's right here in front of the prince, currently visible, so, you know.
Oh no, yeah, no, like Blackjack, he's pretty much came up on like your left flank. He's got he's all nice dressed up, you know, nice little button-up shirt. He got his own little tie, but he's got, you know, tucked in little jacket he's wearing. He's just got his arms behind him, just kind of slightly slouching, just staring up there. Like he wants to like wear a smile or wear like some type of facial expression, but it's just kind of off. So he just kind of stands there with a straight face, just.
Making sure.
Oh yeah, no, he's right beside you.
You know. He does state that Grandmother Dorcas is no longer a member of the Primogen, no longer has any authority within the city. He then gestures over to the Nosferatu that entered with the Primogen. He tells you this is Randall Quinn. Some of you that have been in Huntsville long enough might recognize the name. He is the Nosferatu Primogen of Decatur.
Alrighty then.
Darkest timeline.
You know, he has served as Primogen down there for quite some time under a couple of different princes. And he has been the primary force rallying the surviving Primogen down there. Truthfully, the surviving Camarilla forces down there. You know, he is basically the reason Decatur is not falling completely to the Anarchs.
He's here now.
And he has been able to do all this while keeping the Masquerade.
Kudos to him.
Yes. A lot of gang violence down there, so, you know. He has come up to Huntsville tonight to speak on behalf of the neonates that Grandmother Dorcas had created. They have been questioned extensively. Under rather vigorously questioned. They've been vigorously questioned. And they seem to be ignorant in all things involving the kindred. It appears that Grandmother, that Dorcas was creating a small army for some purpose. Presumably more than simply killing more than simply killing Samuel. The way she sent them after him, they may have simply been disposable cannon fodder. It's even possible that she might have been planning to destroy them all after they succeeded. You know, to leave no evidence, no loose ends. But Primogen Quinn is frankly in need of soldiers, and has offered to take them down to Decatur, you know, train them in all the things the kindred needs to know, and put them to use benefiting the Camarilla. The prince has decided to go along with this. It seems to be the not efficient, most prudent path to take. Quinn and Dorcas are known to have had an off-again, on-again rivalry. So he's quite certain that Quinn will stop them from falling back under her influence. Let's see. Having said that, you know, he goes into the fact that everyone here should consider, you know, the city should consider itself in a state of war against Grandmother Dorcas and her faction of the Nosferatu clan. Let's see.
They burned down my farm. I'll fucking kill them.
The prince gives you a look. I understand you're upset, Blackjack. Mind your language. There are ladies present. But yes, they have assaulted the havens of... Well, they have assaulted a haven here in the city. Of course, you know, he's like, Blackjack was, of course, an obvious target, as his haven was well known to everyone. Any of you that keep havens here in the ledges, I can assure you we have raised our security. We have people on standby to fight any fires, night or day, that might arise. The typical entrances the Nosferatu used to arrive in the ledges have all been sealed. Essentially, they'd have to come over land to get in. It's not known right now what Dorcas's end plan is, what her end game is. She is in contact with someone or something that is up under the city. He doesn't go into all the details that Samuel gave out, but he lets them know that they believe there is an old one in torpor under the city. He believes that is what the Bali were trying to awaken, though he has no proof of that. And he's not sure what Grandmother Dorcas's why Grandmother Dorcas is serving this thing. He then basically opens the floor for any questions anyone has. Do any of you have questions you would like to ask the prince?
Well, I mean, for Alexander, he pretty much gave him the information he was most concerned about was what was going to happen to the poor Nos that just got turned.
Mm-hmm.
But if Decatur's going to take them, there's a part of him that is curious of, if those who don't actually want to go down and actively fight in Decatur, if there might be something they could do here and, maybe, they have to take responsibility for him if he tries to go that route. Ugh. Okay.
And you've seen, and Alexander has seen what a pain that is for Jolene.
Maybe a wee bit. I mean, can't be 100% terrible, but
It's worse. These are theoretically all neonates versus thin bloods who some of them can at least do stuff in the day.
And even at night, still kind of look human.
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, these are just poor Nos that are just completely SOL. They're screwed no matter what you do. They just gonna look like ugly.
They're gonna be nasty.
Nasty.
Alright, so none of y'all have any questions.
No, I think they pretty much settled everything.
Alright.
Venus, keep her mouth shut.
Oh dear, don't worry. There's probably more to come after the break.
Oh yeah.
Others in the crowd began, not shouting questions. They don't become unruly. It's all kind of, brief raise of the hand, get a nod from the prince. Some of them are asking questions about what this is under the city, and, are the Bali on their way, are they going to be coming back? One asks where the Scourge is. The prince simply tells them that Travis is in the midst of an investigation. And there's other questions, people are worried, well, who's likely to be attacked, coteries from other parts of the city are like, well, do we need to be concerned? Do we, how concerned, how on guard should we be? In the midst of this questioning, over to one side, kind of in the back of the room. Or you start hearing murmuring from the back of the room. It kind of moves forward in the crowd. And you see the prince kind of go still and look over everybody's heads. Any of you that glance behind you, there is now a Nos standing in the back of the room.
Oh, lovely.
Blackjack, you know this guy. This is Delve.
Okay.
He was one of the sheriff's deputies. You know, you and him were kind of buds, you know. Everybody, you know, like I said, there's some murmuring. Everybody kind of sees, like everybody in the room slowly becomes aware of him. Primogen Quinn sitting up there looks intrigued. Think the curious look Leonard Nimoy at Spock would give, where it's kind of like you got that, you know, the one eyebrow arched.
Mm-hmm.
Though you can only tell that if you're close to him because he doesn't actually have eyebrows per se. You just got one of the kind of wrinkles right here kind of arcs up. You know, he kind of sits up. A few of the other deputies kind of move over to flank him. But they're looking to the prince and the sheriff to see, do you want me to... The prince just kind of motions him forward.
Does he look like he has like anything strapped to him? Like some sort of electronic device, explosive?
Is he wearing a bomb?
No.
Okay.
He's dressed in a fairly, tight-fitting shirt.
No bulges?
No.
Well, besides the boils from being a Nos.
Well,
As he walks by me, I'll just be like, Delve, how could y'all? We were friends.
he just kind of cuts his eyes towards you and gives a slight little shake of his head. You're not sure if he's saying we weren't friends or if he's saying he didn't have nothing to do with it, But he doesn't really take his focus off the prince. He's like
Of course not.
Just enough to acknowledge it. Okay, yeah, I heard you. As he approaches the prince, he very slowly opens his jacket slightly. You got a deputy standing right there looking at what he's doing. He reaches in, he pulls out a very old style envelope. It's even got like a little wax seal kind of on it. Sir, I was ordered to present this to you. I believe it contains grandmother's explanation for what is going on. She wanted me to assure you and everyone else that she intends no ill will towards the city as a whole. Just the coterie that harbors a traitor to her clan.
I guess I know what that shake of the head was.
Burning down everyone else's house.
Only two, just Blackjacks and Alexander's.
So anyway, she sent me to deliver this, assuming I would be safe under the rules of Elysium. And as you know, Elysium is neutral territory. No violence should theoretically be able to take place here. At least not any full-blooded kindred. It's very up in the air about the Thin Bloods.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
it'd be frowned upon, but it wouldn't be.
Nobody has tried anything tonight, so maybe word got out that you were specifically invited. Well, the prince takes the envelope. He cracks it open. He reads through it. You know, it's a long minute and a half while he's just standing there reading. Everybody else is completely silent. Delve is looking more and more nervous as he stands there. Eventually, the prince folds it up.
Diagnose you with dead.
Tell your grandmother that I do not accept this. If she wishes to argue her case, she can present herself here. Under the rules of Elysium, she will not be harmed. Basically the rule of it being neutral territory. Will be upheld. But she's made now multiple attacks on his domain. She may say it's only Jones Valley she's after, but Jones Valley is his. Let's see. And then he basically kind of shoos him away. Take that message back to him. After that, he calls Samuel forward, asks him and a couple of the Malkavians that y'all aren't as familiar with. You quickly realize they must have the same ability Samuel has, though, of being able to see the hidden. And basically kind of puts them on guard duty. They check. They do a quick run through of the entire facility to make sure there's no other Nos hiding. And come back. The prince tells you he's quite certain that Grandmother Dorcas will not make an appearance. The letter he's read gives him some hints as to what her motivation may be, but doesn't explain it in detail. But he has other business to get on with. Jolene, please step forward.
She steps forward.
The little gaggle of thin bloods behind you, all kind of, but only up to like the edge of only up to kind of the line the crowd makes.
Yeah, she kind of gives him a look like, don't follow me too far now. Ain't all you, Jolene.
Addressing everyone, you all know Jolene. She is the only thin blood that has been semi-regularly attended Elysium. Behind her, you see, after the Bali's raids, virtually every thin blood within the city of Huntsville. You hear somebody out in the crowd, we should take them out while they're all together.
Activate Daunt.
You just get this look on your face like, try it, you mother. Anybody looking at Thin Bloods also sees several of the alchemists kind of reach into pockets.
No. Julian just kind of like shoots that look over his shoulder, like, don't pull this shit. We're outnumbered.
It's very much got the feeling of a police officer or an old gunfighter just kind of putting his hand on top of the gun.
It's a Mexican standoff.
We will lose badly, but we will fight.
We'll die, but we'll die with glory.
Where Bree and Willard and stuff, some of the rest of them, Annette and all, just kind of look a little nervous. Willard's.
loud
Just
straw
a good
noise.
straw.
That loud bottom of cup straw noise.
Blackjack just has his fists raised, or not raised, but like balled up, ready.
Shoot, I blanked just a second on the because I haven't used her in a while.
Jeanette.
No, the Marcy. The prince looks, Marcy, please keep your people under control. Implying that it was one of the Toreador that spoke up. Not one that you recognize the voice of right away, so it wasn't Jeanette or Marcy herself.
Mm-hmm.
Jolene, well, your position above the Thin Bloods is completely unofficial. It comes more to simple respect they have for you and your coteries. A quick reaction to help them in the face of the Bali. I am now going to put them to work. One of the Nosferatu attacks happened during the day. That causes a slight murmur. I know of Grandmother Dorcas's ghouls. It is undoubtedly them. But we have our own ghouls that we are put into place. We would also like the Thin Blood to help secure the city during the day. Particularly your alchemists.
Would she know if the other alchemists are also day drinkers?
I think at least 2 of the alchemists are.
Okay, she'll say, myself included, that would be 3. The other day drinkers do not have alchemical skill.
Perhaps you should begin training them in that.
I can certainly begin that.
I hear I'm being called.
Nah, yeah, they got you on guard.
You
Dude.
need your Rolodex!
Okay.
You're looking for invisible people.
Got it. I'll make a roll real quick. I'm not gonna hop on cam, so you don't have to like shuffle people around.
Oh, okay.
Since I am late.
Well, it wouldn't take me just a minute because I've got
Is
the
up on
multiple
stage.
overlays.
It's fine.
Okay. But all right, just to catch you up right quick, Samuel.
Sarah was catching me up. Actually, I was bugging her.
Oh,
I
okay.
was not.
I was giving him a run by run, like, okay, we're not blood hunting grandmother.
Yeah. I was getting the
David
play by
Moss are
play.
going to Decatur.
Yep.
So yes,
At least
he's
you have your voice still.
I do still have my voice. It is stuck in bass mode, but I still have my voice. People start talking to Samuel. What happened? Who knows? Alright,
But,
better.
so anyway, he's suggesting that you begin training all the Thin Bloods in alchemy. As he saw firsthand how impressive the ability is. Far more impressive than he had been led to believe.
I will do my best to begin that, and I will speak with you in regards to what I have learned in alchemy since we last spoke at any point you wish.
When this business is concluded tonight.
Of course, my friends.
Okay.
8.
Now, nobody had rolled any 10s tonight. And then he gets 2 in his first roll.
Thanks for bringing that in. Just roll it up with the
We only
crits.
made one other roll.
I mean, there was a feeding.
I'm having
I should
flashbacks.
probably do my. Hold on.
I'm having flashbacks of the day of the
Okay,
creeping
I'm
crit.
at
No, did you roll the last time? You rolled the last time.
We rolled the last. We rolled.
Oh,
last
did we?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
last
ended the
session
last
we
session in
rolled.
the early morning.
Alrighty. Okay.
Uh,
So yeah, that's 8 with heightened senses and sense the unseen and all that jazz.
so yes, you don't see any more Nos. Let's see. And it's not just you on watch, it's a couple of the Malkavians as well.
Okay.
Presumably they have the same ability.
Right.
As you went through the building, you didn't find anything. You happen to glance through the window and you see one of the Malkavians outside. Standing under a small tree, part of the landscaping. And calling up into the tree. If you've got your enhanced senses going, you can hear the young lady, or she looks young anyway. She's been in the city as long as you have, at least. So
Yeah.
but she's trying to talk. She's calling somebody a pretty birdie and trying to coax them down. There's a crow on one of the branches that just ain't having it. He just,
Samuel's he's gonna turn, he's gonna look at the window, narrow his eyes. Is that a familiar crow?
dude, it's a crow. All crows look the same.
Okay.
Unless you got an albino or something. This one is not an albino.
Yeah.
It's noteworthy because crows are not generally nocturnal, I don't believe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I very clearly remember that one crow.
That one that took the eye out?
Yeah. That
Crows like eyes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, typically during the day though, guys. Not at midnight.
Maybe he was just sleeping in the tree and this chickens woke him up.
How close is it to the window?
Probably 20 feet or so from the window. I mean, the tree is not right up
Okay.
by the building. But this particular Malkavian was doing a sweep of the outside.
Shoot it with the silence pistol.
Set her on fire.
Sam's gonna keep an eye on it. But he's not gonna make a huge scene in the middle of everything about it for right now.
Why did you set that tree on fire, Sam? There was a crow in it.
Yeah.
You don't understand, man.
It's like the crow a while back. Travis was there. Oh, but Travis isn't here.
Well, the sheriff and all them were there too.
That is true. Anyway, at this point, the speechifying is kind of over, and the prince starts kind of calling, basically calling coteries one at a time over and giving them kind of advice or kind of what he expects, or ways he's suggesting they protect their domains and keep an eye out. A lot of people are concerned about the idea of trying to secure their places against the Nosferatu. Very few people can spot the Nos. Quite a few of the coterie leaders make their way over to David Chatham, the Malkavian primogen. Kind of asking if they can borrow one of his people. But he's only got 2 or 3 that can do that. So the more influential coteries, he actually starts talking to them like that, and they may be going to cut a deal.
Okay. Is the Brat Pack one of them influential coteries?
It is. By the same token, their Malkavian member is one of the guys that went around patrolling with you. I mean, not with you, but was part of that patrolling.
Right.
I don't recall the fella's name. I know I've got it written down. But, you know the Rat Pack. You could ask them for help.
Yeah. So during all this, is that crow still just like staying in the window, in the tree, watching through the window unerringly?
It's looking through the window sometimes. Sometimes it's looking down at the chick that won't leave it alone.
But going between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel's actually going to go outside.
Okay. Nobody seems to take any special notice of it because you and the Malkavians have been just kind of wandering around, keeping an eye out at this point.
Yeah. Sam?
You walk outside. The Malkavian is still there. You know her as Belle.
Right.
Because, if you're trying to talk to animals, surely she's a Disney princess.
Anything interesting, Belle?
This is a pretty little bird, but he just won't come down. Or her, and it's hard to tell in the dark.
Yeah. Samuel's just gonna look up at the crow. And he's gonna wait until the crow looks down. Did it not look down at all?
That's what I'm thinking. What would a crow do? Maybe it's just falling to sleep. And maybe I have lost a book.
I mean, if it's just a regular crow, you don't really need a book.
Yeah. How about that?
Well, it's
Mm-hmm.
different books have different animal stats, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Crow's gonna fight you. It's gonna 1v1 you, bro.
Okay.
It's gonna totally 1v1. Yeah, it eventually looks down at you.
Okay. Well then. As soon as it does...
Compel. Alright, what do you resist a compel with?
Intelligence and resolve.
Alright.
So, fly south for the winter.
Why
It's
are you
light.
awake so late?
Alright, what were you saying the resistance was again?
Intelligence and resolve.
Alright. Resistance. And resolve. Yeah, we got 3 successes. That's respectable.
Mm-hmm.
But you still beat it by 2.
That's
Yes.
good for a crow.
So he's going to look up at it and he'll just say, shift back and stay still.
And the crow goes very, very still.
Okay.
But it is still a crow sitting there.
Is Compel a rouse check? Is Compel a rouse check?
Nope.
Oh.
So anyway, it was looking down at you when you did that, so now it just goes very still.
Right.
Belle looks, what did you do?
Well, I told it to stay still.
Well, that doesn't do me any good if I can't reach it.
Well, last time we encountered a nocturnal crow, it turned out to be a were-creature. So I was hedging my bets.
Crows can be lupines? Weird.
So can bears and coyotes and a number of other things.
Why would a coyote turn into a wolf?
No. The were-creature is a coyote.
Oh. That's still weird, though.
It is, but there are a number of different kinds.
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
Then let us hope you never have to find a were-bear at any point.
Yeah, that's it. Make fun of the crazy Malkavian.
I'm not making fun of you.
I thought you were nicer than that, Doctor. She turns around and just sort of stomps off. You have not made a friend this night.
It's okay, I lost a friend too.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. When he was walking off, he does catch your eyes. He's walking back to the crowd.
Uh-huh.
And he just mouths, "It wasn't me."
Just watch him.
Really, man, I didn't do it. Okay, I found what I'm looking for. But,
Could always just go to Decatur with the rest of them.
do you say that to him?
Yes.
He gets a thoughtful look as he's walking on.
Okay.
She's gonna have to take Grandma back a message.
Of course, Alexander, you know everybody in Clan Nosferatu within this city is terrified of Grandmother Dorcas, so...
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, these smaller groups break up, or the crowd breaks into smaller groups to discuss what's going on. The prince is interviewing coteries one-on-one. Let's see.
I mean, it's like, okay, who wants to start learning alchemy?
And it's like, apparently we all are now, you know.
Yeah. I'll go looking for crock pots in the morning.
At this point, you might as well see if dear old Papa Samuel can just get you a laboratory.
All
He
right.
would have been there. Would he have been? Yeah, he would have been there for that speech, would he?
Yes. That was at... Well, no, he might have been patrolling. With his enhanced senses, he probably heard most of it, though.
Yep.
So, at some point, the prince pulls... Well, Samuel, have you come back inside?
Yeah.
All right. So, at some point, the prince pulls you aside and asks you about the defense of Jones Valley. Now, he realizes you have, that Alexander is kind of your surveillance guy. Jolene is, of course, a day drinker. And he knows, various members of your coterie have ghouls, so... And you've shown yourself very capable in a fight. So he's confident that you can defend your domain as well as anyone.
Yeah.
Though he thinks you're likely to be as more of a target than most of the rest of the city.
Yeah. Is this like a one-on-one meeting with the prince? Or did they pull the entire coterie aside?
No, he's just at this point he's just been pulling the various coterie leaders into a little side office and talking to them.
Yeah, he'll mention several of the defenses that they have up. for situations like that. And he will also ask, since they've been pulled off to the side, if anything is going to be done about that passage he showed them.
Let's see, now which passage was this?
This was the one that he saw in his vision, where it showed that back passage into into the crypt.
Yes. Some people are going to go out and investigate that either later tonight or tomorrow night.
Very well.
You know, got to be careful because you're going down into the dark where they are. So.
Of course.
It's his hope that not everybody in the clan necessarily knows where that is. You know, that Dorcas might have been keeping it a secret from even the rest of her clan. She's always ruled them with a very firm hand, so...
From what Alexander tells me, practically the entire clan is terrified of her.
Yes, she's quite the old-fashioned disciplinarian.
Of course. Well, if it turns out that that is what we believe down there, I will, of course, do my best to provide all the assistance I can.
If we have to take the fight down there, if we have to fight this thing, I would very much want you and your abilities there.
You made the point clear previously, in a previous conversation. However, I would also like to mention that should it become necessary, my grandsire likely will be a very powerful weapon against it, should the need arise.
I will take that into consideration.
Call him a tactical nuke.
No one wants a Justicar or former Justicar in this city, of course.
Of course.
If this creature becomes active, we may have to call him in, though.
Very well.
It is my hope that we can catch it still sleeping.
Well, best I can tell, at least its mind is awake.
That's not from what I understand, that is not unusual of the old ones.
Yes. My sire as well is a rather accomplished thaumaturge, so his abilities likewise will prove useful.
Yes, I will keep all our resources in mind.
Of course.
But for the scouting phase, I simply need these stealthier members.
Fair.
You were the last coterie leader he called in. As he kind of dismisses you, please send Jolene in.
Of course. And he'll go out and he'll look for Jolene.
I don't want to go to the principal's office.
When you step out, she's at the head of all the Thin Bloods. The other alchemists all have little notepads out, and they're writing down kind of all the basic equipment they'll need to start training, you know. There's even some debate as to squeezing more people into fewer apartments. So they have like an entire apartment that could be one big lab.
Mm-hmm. Enjoying yourselves?
Absolutely fucking not.
Yes, well, I don't believe it's going to get any better.
Why?
The prince has asked me to get you and have you go and meet with him.
Alright.
Try not to cuss this lady's present.
She flips off Blackjack.
Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on your wayward children.
Haven't been killed yet. Would she know just a sidebar. Would she know if any of the other what level stuff they know? Like, would any of the other Thin Blood alchemists have taken Sense the Unseen? Because that is a level 1 skill, so technically any level 2 alchemist could have learned it.
None of them have at this point.
Okay.
It wasn't something any of them had really thought about.
She'll mention to them that they may want to, those of us that know alchemy may want to pool our research and resources and try and figure out that.
Oh yeah. If we could do something like that, that'd be great. That'd make us all super useful.
If we can, yeah. Let's, outside of teaching, let's pool resources to get that the next thing we all kind of throw in on.
There's a lot of head nodding and writing.
Let me know if we need. Let me know what kind of weird shit we gotta go looking for. I'll get what I got, and tomorrow morning I'll go look for crock pots. But yeah.
Jolene.
I'm going.
You step in there. He's already sitting at a
There's the
desk.
principal's office.
Please shut the door, Joey.
She shuts the door and remains standing until told to sit down.
He gestures towards the seat.
And she'll sit down.
Your abilities are a lot more impressive than you led me to believe. I know of very few kindred that can fly.
With Prince, permission to be a little frank, but not intended to be rude.
Please. This is a war council, essentially.
I'm stuck with a group where a gentleman can throw fire, another man can throw a car, one man can go invisible, and a woman can turn into a wolf. Wolf. I'm not gonna be the weak link. I'm gonna do my best to keep up.
You were cracking bones with a punch last night. I suspect Blackjack is not the only person in your coterie that can throw a car.
I try to be a little more subtle than Blackjack.
Yes, flying is certainly subtle.
Invisibly.
Fair point.
However, you've certainly proven that the Thin Bloods can be of some use. There are some amongst the Primogen that did not think that would ever be the case. Didn't think there would ever be anything that they would be suitable for that we wouldn't be better off using a ghoul for. What other sorts of abilities have you learned? What can you do?
I don't rightly have my notes with me, but she pulls out 3 of the potions that she has because she can only carry 3 on her. It would be a haze, a compel potion, and potence. She'll put those on the desk. They're all labeled. Points at the hazed one. This one allows me to cloak me and a couple folks close to me in a fog.
This is what you did in your car.
Yeah, it wasn't really the brightest idea, but I panicked.
Well, luckily it was only a single traffic camera that picked you up.
And the car was kind of also on fire, so... This one points to the compel potion. The gentleman that Blackjack and I took to the Walton's Mountain Elysium. That's the bar one, correct?
Yes.
I used this one, one like it, to tell him to sit down and shut up until we got there.
Okay.
This one allows me to punch like Blackjack. And let me pull my list of what else she has. She'll go off and be like, I also can deal damage like a vampire. There's a potion that's similar to haze that I can create that does not work well so much on folks that don't breathe, but creates a mist that kind of clings to folks and can basically suffocate them.
Useful against kind.
Yes. There's one that can, when combined with like a medical bagged blood, can make the blood a viable food source for other vampires. The fly one, and I have one I have not tested yet, nor do I really want to test. It's a rumored basically what it'll do after a whole lot of pain and dedication would change me to the opposite gender.
That's an interesting one for you to have researched.
Eventually, if I live long enough, I'm gonna have to take on a new face. Might as well take on a new body as well.
And none of these would work if I drank them. He picks up the haze one. Were I to drink this, it would do nothing.
As far as I'm aware, if it does not contain the alchemist's blood, it would be like drinking a really disgusting bottle of blood. There's a lot of questionable things mixed with that.
It seems you thin bloods may not be quite as weak as people take you to be.
Not everyone goes into alchemy. It requires a bit of dedication, a strong stomach, and the use for it. Not everyone wants to fight.
Well, I need as many of your people to go into it as possible. At least in the temporary. I don't know how quickly you can train people in this, but you seem to have caught on quite quickly.
I'll do what I can between myself and the others, and we'll see if there's a way to... Basically, what some of our potions can do is replicate a kindred's gifts. We'll see if there's a way to replicate being able to see obfuscated kindred. I can't guarantee it'll work, but
That would be very useful, though, if you could produce that.
see what we can do.
And with that, the Elysium slowly comes to an end. You know, there's still people milling about and talking, but a lot of people started peeling off. As you leave, you see one of the Tremere talking to a couple of the Thin Bloods.
Is it a Tremere she recognized?
Well, there's not a lot of Tremere. You recognize you know all of their faces. You don't necessarily know which name goes to everybody.
Later. Which one was that?
But oh, I got a list of names.
Which one of these I gotta stay with Poland's bottle for?
But
Just yeets a bottle at them. Doesn't even drink it, just yeets it at them. Step away from my children!
the one that's doing the guy that's speaking to him.
Samuel is over there with them too, so
Okay, Andre Walker is the one talking to him.
okay.
And he just seems to be curious about the basics of alchemy. Based on the questions he's asking, you really get the impression he's just kind of comparing it to thaumaturgy and trying to see if it's some kind of, like bastardized version of thaumaturgy. But
Could be.
but one of them is going into kind of what they mix together, and he just get them look like antifreeze. What?
Antifreeze, a little bit of black coffee. Get some cow hoof shavings, marinate that in there for a couple
Did
hours.
what?
Man, I've eaten a guy's eye
that's
before for a spell, but that's disgusting.
Potents.
I can see it
Blackjack is
now.
like, are you getting cow hoof shavings from my cows?
I'm not taking them from your cows. They sell cow hooves at the pet store.
Or the
Oh,
grocery
cheap
store, for that
dog.
matter. You could always take the hooves off the deers that you kill.
No. Cow hooves. Ever been kicked by a cow?
Yes.
I mean, dear, if you're going to go with that logic, horse hooves.
Cow hooves are more convenient. It works.
It's a sympathetic magic thing. It's got to be cows for some reason.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's right.
I'm just saying.
Honestly,
Hear me out.
Honestly,
If you just upgrade to horse hooves, it probably has a harder kick. But it tish.
no, the ones she does, like, she would probably explain this too. Like, the ones that are not like specifically thin blood, I kind of figured are kind of sympathetic to each person. So like, the compel potion has a lot of Samuel elements. The potent ones have some blackjack elements. Cow hooves for like the potent ones. The like compel one probably has ashes of old burned books.
You're burning books. Don't let Samuel know.
They're like library discard books. Like he would ever allow her near the good books.
Realizing I'm not on camera, I was just shaking my head.
That's what I was.
Not the first edition. Charles Dickens, no.
That's in the naughty section.
Oh, God.
Alright. So like I said, people start drifting off. As soon as it looks like people start to leave, the Thin Bloods are kind of looking at Joe and can we go?
Yeah, if y'all want to head on out.
Because Jeanette just
Then they're
keeps looking
gone.
at us.
Yeah, you get kind of used to it. She looks at it. You get used to being looked at like a snack and not in a good way.
I think she's jealous.
Don't say that to her face.
Samuel just smirks.
Look, we don't want to get killed tonight.
If anyone's going to get killed, it will likely be my sorry tale, but that's another story.
Bree starts
They're not
ushering
dying.
folks towards the door. Let's see, y'all came in three
Shouldn't
different
know when you get-
cars.
I just tosses the keys to you. I'll get a ride somewhere.
Well, Maeve's still here. Blackjack, were you going to come back with us, or?
I think I need to stay with my coterie for now, but I appreciate it. I'll figure out a way, whatever.
Okay.
Truthfully, the farm's not that far away from where we are right now.
As y'all leave, you see Willard looking around like he's looking for somewhere to put his cup.
Just Willard just takes the cup with him.
Just hand it to just hand that to a ghoul on your way out.
And sure enough, the ghoul's manning the front door. He hands it to one of them on his way out. Wasn't sure what to do with this. I'll take care of it. No worries.
Bonk.
Samuel's probably still being followed by Bruce and Anya.
Yes, they probably would have been with you here at the
Yeah.
coterie. And at some point, Abla would have come by and spoken to you, but, just a general, hey, glad things went well last night. Bruce and Anya said they rolled in and helped with the cleanup. That it was pretty well handled when they got there.
Yes, we managed to catch them by surprise.
Which is usually how the Nosferatu operate.
Yes, well, I did learn a few things from Alexander.
So anyway, the Thin Bloods pill out. I mean, not literally, but
Doing donuts in the parking lot.
Oh yeah, just 100% classy right there.
Mhm.
Roll.
Arms and legs tucked down the hill.
so now I'm picturing them actually
And
peeling
the-
out. One of them's got like the, since it's Alabama, one of them's got the car horn that does Dixie.
You say that,
But this time it's like 2:00 in the
Right.
morning. You're in the snootiest part of the city.
You say that, but there's a truck that I drive by every day that he literally has a massive, like, just American flag on the back of his truck. And just drives around with it. I'm saying, like, oh, okay.
Willard's car has the Dixie tune on it.
Let me guess, it's also jacked up as well. Big tires.
Absolutely, yeah.
About right.
Yeah.
It's
All right. So what are the rest of y'all doing? Is there somebody you specifically want to talk to? Like I said, pretty much the entire city's here. Sans the Nos.
Well, Samuel's actually going to look at the two Banu Hakim that are following him around.
Okay.
Bruce, Anya, I have a question. Might be a little odd one.
Okay, Doc. Feel free to ask.
How responsive do you believe that the lord of your group might be to someone asking to court his daughter?
Bruce is just kind of like. He looks over at Anya. Anya just holds her hand up. Bruce fishes out his wallet.
Oh, that's good.
How much gets exchanged?
You're not sure. It's a folded bit of bills.
Uh-huh. Samuel, like, just reaches over, snags one of the bills, and pockets it.
Anya starts to protest. Like, whatever.
What? I gave it to you.
But yeah, they kind of look at each other like, Arif seems to like you well enough. Not gonna lie, your clan would probably count against you. There's just a lot of history, a lot of mistrust there. I'm pretty sure Reef would not react with violence or anything. Or, have us react with violence.
Well, I certainly hope not. That'd be breaking the contract, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we can wait a couple weeks, but, Yeah.
Just that casual nonchalant of, we can wait a couple weeks, it's fine.
Reef's the
They won't
patient sort. Can't talk.
Of course.
But, he doesn't treat her like a child or anything. She's been a kid as long as he has. So, he...
I was unsure of there's a lot of the customs of the Banu Hakim that are sort of kept under wraps, as you all are wont to do at times.
Yes.
I was unsure if there was anything, if I needed to go through him first, or...
He'd probably consider it polite to let him know. that's as much as a holdover from their culture when he was kind as anything. But
That's what I will do. And if he does kill me, it's been fun.
and profitable.
Of course.
Now y'all have this conversation, but it seems like Arif and Abla have already left for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Or night.
Oh no, yeah, he's not gonna do that tonight. He's gonna go and talk to Arif during that time skip you mentioned.
Alright, does anyone else have anything they wish to do here? Anybody else they wish to talk to?
Maeve is gonna go with a bag of like stuffed animals to Jack and be like, these are for the kids.
Oh, they're probably like that. If they can touch them, I'm not really sure. Oh, well, we'll have to find out.
Let me know how it goes.
I will. At least I think I can. The prince said I shouldn't tell you anything else the children say. But I guess I could tell you if they seem to like it or not.
Prince
And
just zooming in the background, like,
It's not what the children say bad. I mean, if they enjoy the stuffed animals. I mean, hey.
Well, it was really nice. I'll be sure to tell them that these are from you. Excuse me.
Blackjack probably goes to find the sheriff.
All right, Sheriff Jonas, Abram Jonas. As you walk up, he nods to you, Blackjack.
Sheriff.
Do you need
It's
something?
like, I'm just passing fancy. Looks like the Thin Bloods are proving useful after all.
Perhaps. We'll have to wait and see.
We've been waiting and seeing for a while, and they've just been proven useful.
Yes, but they've been here quite some time before that happened.
That's because no one gave them a chance.
Maybe.
You all right? You're doing the one sentence. You're doing the one word thing.
We've spoken before of why I'm uneasy with the Thin Bloods.
That's true.
Anybody can make themselves useful to some degree. I simply
Right.
feel harboring so many of them is dangerous. But that is the prince's call and not mine.
It's the Bali would kill the Bali. If it's some fucked up Nosferatu, will kill them.
I believe that is what's on the itinerary.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun doing that.
I suspect if Dorcas cannot give a very good accounting of herself soon, that a blood hunt will be called.
I'm surprised there wasn't one called immediately.
Some of us were surprised as well.
It's,
I think, the prince is more of a politician than I am. I think perhaps he's leaving himself some room to negotiate, should that become necessary.
That's I wasn't aware that negotiation was a thing after the literal war crimes that Dorcas committed.
Well, to be fair, she has not actually killed anybody in his domain. Not for lack of trying, I understand, but it's a thin line, not one I would have paid any attention to, but
I don't
Well.
know. I'm interested in seeing where this goes, but I think we're going to lose a lot more Nosferatu in the surrounding area.
Yes. Truthfully, it's my hope that that a lot of them will flee, make their way to surrounding cities.
Do you feel kinship being one of the only of a certain clan here?
No, it's that I've worked with some of them.
Devil's my friend, and he up and chose his side.
Well, clan comes first for a lot of us. And Grandmother Dorcas, from what I understand, is quite terrifying. She rules with a bit of an iron hand.
She seemed to be pretty hands off with that one. I'm pointing to or not pointing, but kind of like Alexander.
Probably because he was new. After all, if I understand correctly, she did put him to spying on your coterie.
Well as that turned out to be.
Yes. Her final test, he clearly failed.
Maybe more people should speak with their chest and say what they want instead of fucking around.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. An awful lot of that.
Yeah.
Never accept positions that get you involved in the politics.
Are you speaking from experience?
Yes.
He like pats the arm and is like,
Don't get me wrong. I think most of our clan made a mistake in leaving. I believe our system is the best system. And if we simply did not have a system, there'd be nothing to stop a resurgence of the Sabbat. Nothing to
Sabbat.
enforce the Masquerade.
That's the other thing that's been bothering me a little bit. Don't you think the way Dorcas has been going around wholesale embracing people just randomly?
Yes. She seems to be mimicking a tactic of the Sabbat. Back before the Inquisition decimated them, and before the Calling and the Gehenna War called so many of them to the east, she was always very I guess you'd have to say bloodthirsty when it came to keeping the Sabbat out of the city. And I don't believe, if you're worried that she may actually be Sabbat, I don't believe that. Of course, I didn't believe she'd go against the prince like this either. So, but I think she's finding that particular tactic of theirs useful.
I say that would have had to have been what, decades ago.
Oh yes.
So
Well,
someone can change it.
decades ago. Yeah, since Huntsville had to deal with any of them, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure, decades is long enough to be like, I want to change sides, or I want to change affiliations, or
Anything's
at
possible.
this person.
The old one's got to be offering her something, though.
I wonder
Or dominating her or something.
I wonder if she's gotten the call.
He kind of gives a slight nod. It's not strong yet, but she's been starting to hear it. I would imagine the good doctor's sire is likely in the same boat. My understanding is that him and Dorcas are of an age.
Yeah. That'd be a conversation with them. But most likely.
Well, anyway, keep your head on a swivel. Oh, and I'm sorry to hear about your farm. I know it meant a lot to you.
Yeah, that's been with me longer than. Well, that's been with my family for generations, and
And you're the last of your line, I'd imagine.
yeah. Yeah. I'll rebuild.
I'm sure that you will.
You have a good day, Chef.
Yeah, you as well, Blackjack. So anyway, we're going to wrap up the Elysium then. So y'all all make your way out. Alexander and Samuel, well, y'all are staying here in the Legends, so y'all can basically, hop in his car and head to the opposite side. I guess Jolene and Blackjack are going to have to hitch a ride with Maeve.
Mm-hmm.
Jolene, you get text from the Thin Bloods. They all got home fine.
Blackjack texting here.
Shoot, I look over the other side. It's like, really?
Well, this is not an instance where you get individual texts from everybody. Bree lets you know, yeah, we're all accounted for and back.
Jolene, did you want me to drop you off 2 blocks before or right in front?
Nah, I moved.
That's what I'm saying. Want me to drop you off 2 blocks before your new place?
Or would you have left Oogie parked at Casa de Thin Blood?
She would have probably left. Well, because if she brought it up here and then gave Bree the keys to get everyone.
Oh, that's right. So that's where your car would be.
She's like just take me back to the apartment. I'll get a list with the rest of the folk and yeah.
Okay. And what about you, Blackjack?
I'm also going on Casa del Thin Blood, unfortunately.
And she'll go and drop them off.
All right. The three of you give me a wits awarenesses, please.
Alright.
Oh, lovely.
Time to get hit by an 18-wheeler, y'all.
Alright.
It right. Wits awareness.
Oh, that kind of sucked.
Four. Okay.
2.
You got 3? Oh, yeah, 2. Just 2, because it's 110.
Yep.
Okay. 4's not bad. 4's not bad.
Oh, wait, that was...
Yeah, 2 of you got 4.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I've seen a
no.
lot of shit, but guys.
Oh!
That Long Island iced tea's kicking in.
It was moonshine. And
It was moonshine.
Shit.
Willard just gave me moonshine.
That's 7, but yeah. Basically.
I mean, how do you bestial critical?
I don't think you can.
No, I mean,
I'm sure there's a way.
you just weren't paying attention or something. Too hyped up or too tired.
Oh, no. I've got it or something.
oh boy.
All right, so
God. Yeah, that
with the
look.
exception of... Well, no, hang on. Actually, ties go to the player, so everybody spots a car following you. Blackjack, you just noticed, them headlights been behind us for a while now. Always turning where we're turning. They're not right up on your tailgate, they're hanging back a bit.
I'll keep looking at it, even if it's following us, like, or if it's just like the same set of headlights. I'm still gonna like look back and be like, huh, weird.
Maeve and Jolene, you both recognize whose car it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Brat Pack. They are following you deep into your domain. This is clearly they are not, clearly not like the main road. Just head back to their place or somewhere else in Huntsville. Jolene, with the stress that you have been under,
Let me at him.
you had you started commenting. Okay, everything went fine. Got some stuff I got to do. Great, but But for tonight, you thought it was over. And then these SOBs are clearly trying to follow y'all back to your havens, which is a major violation of etiquette, if not necessarily one of the traditions specifically, though some people might take it as a violation of hospitality.
Especially with what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, Maeve's driving. She comes to a stop at a stop sign, and you just come boiling out of that car.
Yes! I was gonna say, she get out of the car.
I am imagining that you are quaffing the, probably the potence. And,
Can she, she gonna punch the hood of their car?
You know what?
Flip
You
the
tell me
car.
what she's going to do. Just make it suitably violent, because she has snapped and is...
She's pissed.
Oh, flipping the car with a mini would be so epic.
Whoosh.
How many would she have to roll to get that?
Oh.
You have potent.
Well, actually, no. You know what? She's gonna take the front of the car and lift it up. And she's also activating, she has, from just her gangrel heritage, she has Eyes of the Beast. So Eyes of the Beast are going, so her eyes are glowing, and she's lifting the front of that car.
Just kind of step out of the car like, Jolene?
Just looking at him like, what the fuck do y'all want?
You have the equivalent of, what, 4 potence at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna make you roll for that.
Just tilt the car to the side, just like dump them out like
pick it up.
cans.
No, just lifting the front of it, like, probably to like chest level.
Hope it's not a wheel
Just
rear,
eye
Like a
contact.
salt shaker.
rear wheel drive. Can't talk.
Just eye contact with, just individual eye contact.
In the car, you see the Malkavian and the Ventru. Let's see. I know there's at least. Let's see. There's all the Tremere.
Where's the list of Rat Pack?
There's the Volcavian, the Toreador, right?
Yeah, there was a Torio. That's right. I've only ever named off 3 of them for you. So yeah, James Howell the second, the Ventru.
The second.
Mike Bradshaw is the Malkavian, and Andrew Jones is the Toreador. And they are all wide-eyed as you snatch this car up with the glowing eyes. The Malkavian waves.
Asked you boys a question. What the fuck y'all want?
Bzzz, as the Malkavian, hits the power windows. Bzzz. We were just out driving. We saw y'all. Thought, oh yeah, we better make sure they get home safe. The Nos seem to have it out for them.
Maeve's gonna get out the car to see if there's any other cars around.
That's
It's
what
2 o'clock in the
Blackjack's doing
morning.
now.
Y'all are in kind of the neighborhood area in Jones Valley.
She'll drop the car with like a bounce.
You see the Ventru kind of wince.
You're following us deep into our own territory. I suggest you boys go on home. We can clearly take care of our own. You make sure to take care of yours.
James just sort of
Perhaps-
nods.
Perhaps you want to tell us what you're actually doing, because this ain't the first time you've been going deep into our territory for one
No
reason or
fucking
another.
reason.
Yeah, that. I'd listen to her if I were you. Like, I'm strong, but she just lifted your car like nothing.
Well, you see, the Nos seem to have made you a target, so we were using you as a
So-
what did they call it? Crap, they used to use bulls, I think, like that. Well, they use them as kind of bait to lure a predator out. Stalking something?
You're using us like a bait dog.
Please tell me something calls Sam.
So Maeve is going to activate feral claws and just start puncturing 3 out of the 4 tires of the vehicle.
That's going to leave them trapped in your domain.
They
can
can't
walk.
follow her home.
They don't feel pain. They can walk.
They can walk.
Don't walk.
2
I mean,
o'clock.
hopefully
Actually,
they got some
It's
sun
like
bags.
it's like 2 o'clock. No, it's like 2 o'clock. They could probably make it home.
Yeah, they could make it in 3 hours.
Yeah. Because they could run at, normal human speed. They could still run at, run at human speed non-stop because they're not going to get tired. It's just going to look mighty weird in them in their fancy clothes.
Yep.
Because when they go to Elysium, they are dressed to the nines. So yeah, you drop the car, boom, 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 and before Mike can throw it into reverse, Maeve has come up and pop, 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 pop.
It's like balloons.
Just 3 out of the 4.
Mike's like, you missed one.
No, I didn't. Try to follow me home and it'll get a lot worse.
James is saying some very unflattering things. Where Mike's like, hey, she left once. That that was kind of nice.
Oh, poor James.
You'll get a good 2-for-1 deal at the Walmart over there.
He looks almost as offended at you suggesting he would go to the Walmart as anything that's happened up to now.
Good grief.
There's a parking lot over there you can pull your car off into. I suggest you gentlemen start getting walking.
We can push it over there too. Just so you are aware that what you're doing is incorrect.
The Toreador has already got his phone out and it seems to be calling a cab.
Calling AAA.
And an Uber.
Very well. James is like, very well. We will return to our domain. Clearly, you do not want our help.
You've never once offered us your help before. You've offered us nothing but your disdain. Why?
Mike's like, and disgust.
Exactly.
And then
Why
he
should we
slaps the
believe
door.
a
Wait!
Damned thing.
I
you
drove
say?
Alexander to the werewolf fight that time.
Yeah, to get information from him. Don't act like you're doing things out of the goodness of your heart, 'cause I know you don't have.
Y'all are glow seekers, aren't y'all? Y'all trying to get credit for something, aren't y'all?
And the day we ask for your help is the day when hell freezes over.
Y'all want to swoop in and take the credit for something.
Same
Oh,
way
look at
home
us.
going.
Look at us. Look at this coterie. Y'all the ones that look at us. We're the ones that took care of the NOS problem. Aren't we the greatest? Are you jealous? Is that what it is?
James just gives you a look. Jealous.
Jealous?
Oh, please.
That a coterie with
fucking
like
thin
5
blood?
total. A thin blood.
We've got a thin
5
blood,
total
an
brouhaha.
inbred.
What?
He points at Blackjack when he says that. And one of the low clans.
Just removed the
I
car
mean,
door.
I didn't realize you wanted to be up the prince's ass that badly. Talking about low
You got 10
clan.
seconds to start walking.
Between Jolene saying that and the look on his face when Maeve starts, bring the prince into it, he's like, oh yeah, the prince is a low clan. Boys, we need to go.
I just started listening to this Samuel
You're
at home. My idiots are up to something.
Be like, want to talk about low class? I mean, the next time I talk to the prince, I'll bring that up real quick.
He's at like 7.
It is merely a classical distinction between certain clans. It's not an insult.
Mm-hmm. And who's your prince right now?
4.
James and Andrew get out of the car and start walking. Mike's like, you told me to pull the car over.
I'll move it for you.
Whoosh.
Roll it into a ditch.
Okay.
Y'all gentlemen have
Careful of the paint. Mike kind of trots to catch up with the other two. I don't think that went the way we thought that was going to go.
Jolene will, like, one hand on the steering wheel, just, like, pushing it over to a parking lot.
Well, you have prowess. You can just push the damn thing.
Well, she has to steer it, too.
Samuel makes that
The car.
makes that comment earlier about my idiots are up to something. Alexander just continues to walk beside him slowly with his hands behind him. Just gives a glance. Right.
So you get the car pushed over. The
Jolene started this bullshit.
Oh.
the Toreador is still on the phone, so seems to be giving his whoever he's talking to directions to pick them up at a couple blocks down.
Are there keys still in the vehicle?
Yeah, when you said you'd park it, Mike left the keys in there.
She'll at least she'll take the keys out, roll the window up, close the door, chuck the keys at the guy the farthest away.
Yeet the keys at them. Yes.
Just see little bronze bullet just flying.
Send one of your ghouls for it. I know you probably got one.
Maeve will take out her phone and text Samuel. Brat Pack followed us, but we dealt with him.
Text Alexander. Are there any cameras between at this intersection? Could you wipe them for me? Thanks. Smiley face, heart emoji.
Alexander just be like. Samuel.
In that area, no, it's mostly residential. The parking lot they pulled into was
Like mom and pop.
one that's been empty for a while even.
Yeah. Samuel's response to Alexander looks at him. He's like, "Oh yes, I got it too."
Well, this is your daughter asking me to wipe footage in case there is anything at this intersection.
Oh, well, might as well.
Fair enough. I'll change the cameras.
His reply to Maeve: "How much ass did you kick?"
Talk to your daughter about that.
Jolene is like visibly fuming.
He takes a moment. They text Jolene, "I'm so proud of you."
Text back. Smiley face. Thanks, Dad.
It's a good night when we can have the storyteller just shaking his head at every comment we make.
Alright, so you get back to Casa del Thinblood. The Thinbloods are all, well, the ones you talk to, the ones that are there, where you drop Blackjack off, are quite tickled by your story.
And that is why you all learn alchemy.
You have a few thoughtful looks. Yeah, okay.
I'm not recommending you go out and yeet somebody's car.
It's quite
But if
cathartic.
you have to yeet somebody's car,
It's better to be able to eat
have
somebody's
the ability.
car and never need to eat one than need to eat one and not be able to.
exactly.
Alright, so this night rolls, or comes to an end. By next session, we are going to jump ahead. We're in July currently. We're going to jump ahead to September. We are not going to spend a whole lot of time on the in-between. And not like we do previously.
Not like we usually do.
Yes, because time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Essentially,
Let's
what
say
is going to go on?
We all have a write-up of what we do.
Yes, give me like a paragraph or so.
Yeah.
And I'll return comments, and we'll go. I will basically give a review of everybody's paragraph.
What we did on our summer vacations.
Kind of.
Me thumbing up the camera. I'm not on camera. What am I doing?
But
Force of habit.
But anyway, we'll in the coming months, there's going to be something of a guerrilla war going on.
Shit, there's gonna be gorillas.
Where gorillas?
Not this campaign, maybe the next one. But
Harambe.
that would have been. Was that 2019 or was that 2018?
I'll go look.
No,
I'll go
I
look.
thought it was
Check Google.
2016.
It might have been that far back. I don't know.
Yeah, Harambe's like 2016, if I can
Those
remember
memes have been around
correctly.
a long time.
Yeah. Or is it 2016?
But anyway, I will also give
It was
y'all,
2016.
Yeah,
I would-
2016.
as y'all are doing that, I'll be giving y'all a few little events that happen, as you have this kind of shadow war with the Nos going on. And the crow will probably pop back up.
Mm-hmm.
Since I don't know how long Compel lasts, but
That completely normal crow.
yep.
Well,
That's
he did tell the crow to change back first.
You told him to shift back, and all it did was sit there and be still. The be
Kind of
still part
shifting
seemed to.
backwards.
Okay. So compel can't affect shifting. Good to know.
That's quite possible. Samuel doesn't really know.
Yes, he does. If he should have known, because air creatures are one of his specialties.
Give me a roll right quick.
Possession rolls.
Well, we haven't officially.
Occult,
Intelligence,
intelligence,
and then your specialty is an extra dice, of course.
35 minutes later.
Probably.
$13, but 5 successes.
You don't, off the top of your head, you don't know of any reason that it wouldn't have shifted back, unless its natural form was the crow.
Fair.
Because
Where
if you
crow?
said shift back, it might have gone to its kind of default original form, which it might have
Okay.
already been in.
Fair enough.
Because you figure if it had any sort of ability or anything that protected it from the command, it would have protected it from the entire command.
True.
That's Samuel's working theory anyway.
Fair. One of the things he's going to research.
And with that, we got a few minutes to spare, but with that, we're going to wrap. Hope everybody that came by and watched enjoyed it. Hope my players had fun.
Oh yeah.
Is that smoke in your area, Zay?
I have a candle I blew out recently, and it's just taking its sweet time of dispelling the
Okay.
smoke.
They like to do that. Let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. So if you enjoyed watching this, be back tomorrow night where we should have a Monster of the Week game. Thursday night is Descent into Avernus. Nothing on Friday. Saturday night should be the Stolen Cities, which is D&D 5th edition. And then back on Monday with the Escorts, which is also D&D 5th edition.
Troubleshooters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when we meet back here next week, it will be the beginning of the last 4 sessions.
Final arc.
Yep.
The last season.
Can't believe it's already been a year.
Will
Well,
Thor
we
go
didn't.
to heaven?
We had like this one had like a 9-month run because Esper Genesis took a
Yeah.
little while to wrap up.
Yeah.
But yes, by the end of December, by the time we take the holiday break, we will be finished with Vampire. The votes are in. Our campaign after the new year, we will start a Scion 2nd edition game.
Yes.
We're going to start off at the origin level. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, Scion has an origin, hero, demigod, and god levels. Though only 2 of them are out. But
We are going to be disasters.
in Scion, you
Most
play
of them are
demigods.
characters.
So the game will start up just prior. Basically, the first session will, in all likelihood, be the players or the characters coming to the attention of the divine parent. And a little bit after that, they'll have their visitation. which is kind of what triggers the really funky stuff.
Yeah.
Uses the story pass system, which is a variant of the storyteller system. So if you come and watch us play in it, there'll be things like the dice pools and all will seem very familiar, but some of the way abilities work, success numbers, things like that are a little different. But it'll also be fun because there is no masquerade in that. There's none of this. I yeeted a car. I hope nobody saw it. No. You may snatch that car up and pose before you eat it.
Yeah.
So a little different dynamic there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of looking forward to it.
I am too.
We're going.
We
to
are going to be
disasters. It's gonna
disasters.
be fantastic.
That should be what the sessions be called.
Well,
The
like I told y'all in the
disasters.
Discord,
The
though, if you
disasters.
read the mythology, the actual mythological characters tend to be disasters. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely are. I
So
mean-
anyway, let's go ahead and sign off here. Everybody watching at home, thanks for coming by. Hope you come back next week, and the 3 weeks after that. And we will see y'all later. Where's my credits button? Eric, are you waving?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
I learned my lesson.